Okay. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, my name is Alice, I'm a baker, and I decided to ask you all to ask me your burning questions because we hit 500k on here, which is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, let's do a bit of a Q&A. Question numero uno. What does your family think of you being a YouTuber? My family don't care at all. They know I do this as a job while I'm a student, and they absolutely, yeah, they really don't care at all. Moving on. What is your baking shop called and where is it? My bakery shop is called the From Scratch Bakery. It is not located anywhere right now because I am studying. I don't have the time to actually keep a storefront open. So I run a food truck whenever I feel like it, and that's the extent of my business currently. I know people expect me to have a storefront. I'm so young and I cannot afford one. So that's the answer to that question. The burning question, how does Alex still have a job? Alex still has a job because half of the stuff he does is actually stuff that I've done and I'm too embarrassed to admit. Moving on. Your eyes are so far apart you look like Sid the Sloth. I know. Would you ever consider going on a bake-off style competition on TV? Probably. Yeah, I'd do it. I can't actually do the Great British Bake Off because I'm a professional baker. They only allow amateurs, which I completely understand. Would I judge it? Absolutely. You should pick a random subscriber, find out all of their personal data and write it on a silly cake and post it online as a prank. I'm not trying to get arrested, that sounds illegal. Your content is like an addiction. Thank you. I probably shouldn't thank people for that. My question here is exactly what inspired you to be a content creator on social media? I posted my first video, got 15 million views, and then 100,000 followers off of my first video. So really, nothing inspired me to start other than my friends saying, Alice, you should make a video. And I did. And then all of this rolled off of that. But I absolutely love it and I wouldn't switch it for the world. And do you have siblings? I have a brother. Yeah, he can't cook for the life of him. He can barely cook pasta. Sorry, Thomas. I do have a question. Where are you from? By the way, you're cute. Thank you, Johnny. I am from Ireland. I've lived in Ireland my entire life. The reason I sound like this is because my mum is English, and I did one of those like DNA tests where you spit in a tube and then send it off to a lab and hope they're not stealing your DNA to make clones of you. But it hasn't come back yet, so I'll keep you guys updated. Congratulations, thank you. How old are you? I'm 20. I'm really old. What was the hardest thing to bake that became the easiest? Milfoy. I'll put a picture of it up here because it looks really simple from the top view, but when you actually fold it over, it's 3 layers of puff pastry with pastry cream and flaked almonds around and strawberries on the inside, and the hard thing about it is keeping it stable enough so it doesn't slide. That's fun, it's like a dance move. Waka waka. Okay. And then you also do like spider webbing on top and then put a what do you call it, a glacier cherry in the center. It's not as easy as it looks, but as I make so many of them, it's getting easier. What is your favorite thing to bake and how old were you when you started baking? Also, how old were you when you opened your bakery? That's a triple header. My favorite thing to bake is Millionaire Shortbread. No explanation, I just really like eating it afterwards. How old were you when you started baking? I was 3 years old when I actually started baking on my own. I was younger than that when I started baking with my mum. Yeah, I think that's right. Also, how old were you when you opened your bakery? I was 17, turning 18. My question is, which artists do you listen to these days? This is gonna shock a lot of you, but I love heavy metal music. That's gonna sound really stupid, but I do. I went to a metal concert back in January. Anyways, my favorite artist is probably Bring Me the Horizon. I do like Bad Omens and I like all the other ones in that genre, but yeah, Bring Me the Horizon is probably my favorite. I do like Quedeca as well. Congrats, girly. So my question is, what's the name of your bakery? I hope to God you guys know it's the From Scratch Bakery by now, but it's the From Scratch Bakery. What is your favorite sensory thing in baking? I really like the smell of mixing wet ingredients, especially eggs and extract. I understand that, that's a good smell. My favorite thing is either zesting lemons. I find that so therapeutic. Is that a little bit? No, that's fine. I don't think that's a bit weird. And then I also like when you're breadcrumbing, when you're doing this, to like the butter and the sugar and the flour all together and you're making it into breadcrumbs. That's my favorite. You're making these stories up, right? For the most part, no. A lot of them are real. A lot of them have been sent to me by other hospitality workers and bakers and chefs alike. But some of them are exaggerated. Some of them are completely false, but not a lot of them, no. Can you tell me her real name, please? Not get channel name. My real name is Alice Ruth Kelly. There you go. There's not much more to it. You can call me Alice if you want to. Can I have a lemon cake without lemons? Yes, you can. A lot of lemon extracts and flavorings don't actually have any lemon in them at all. For preservative reasons, I don't recommend using them. Just use lemons. Hey, question, don't want to sound like those weirdos, but how come we don't see your bakery instead of a green screen? Once again, sorry, just curious. No need to apologise. The reason you don't see my bakery is because it looks like this. And when you're trying to convey to an audience that's never seen you before and doesn't know you're a baker, having what looks like a really obvious bakery behind you is going to help. So that's why I have a picture of, I actually have no idea where I got the picture from, of loads of breads and cakes, and it looks like I'm at a counter. It's easier to convey to an audience. Can you explain to us your bakery training? Okay, let me break this down for you. No. I am a professional patisserie chef in training. So I am training to be a pastry chef. I'm going into my second year of patisserie school. Before that, I obviously have my bakery training as like I sat at a computer and looked at a bunch of slides, and it wasn't very interesting. So you can actually run a bakery from home. You have to do that. It's a food hygiene certificate too. It costs like €30 and you don't have to leave your house. I did mine in bed. And then also I did 3 months of culinary school, absolutely hated it and dropped out. And then before that, obviously, I've been baking every single week for like 20 years. How hard is pastry arts if you're planning to study it as a strand in college? The actual baking part isn't the hardest part, surprisingly. It's actually quite nice. It's relaxing. It's 9 hours a week of just baking. It's really sweet. But if you also do it as a degree, mine is a Bachelor's of Science or a Bachelor of Honours in Science, you have to learn science. So you do biology, organic chemistry, and then I'm also doing a business degree at the same time. So it's like management and how to keep people safe if they're working for you. So there's a lot of modules within pastry arts if you're doing it as a degree that aren't very easy. So yeah, it's not the easiest course. It's not ever going to be as hard as some others, so it's really what you make of it. What's your favourite activity or hobby apart from baking? I really enjoy watching Formula 1. I think a lot of people get hints of that when I wear Formula 1 shirts in my videos, and I do a lot of crochet and I also do a lot of floristry. How many F1 shirts do you have? I've seen a lot of them in your videos. That was not planned. I did not put that question after this. I have a lot of F1 merch. Wait until I wear my caps in a video. You guys would be so sick of it. Too many. What is the most embarrassing short you've ever uploaded? I'm actually really happy to say it's my worst performing short ever. It's about Alex. Okay, let me set the scene. Alex goes out and is trying to serve a blind person, and he goes, "Would you like to see a menu?" Bearing in mind this is what I have actually done in my real life. The blind man goes, "I can't see," obviously. So I'm like, okay, I'll go and get you a Braille menu. Can you read Braille? And he's like, yeah, of course I can. I go and get him a Braille menu and I go to hand it to him. He can't see me handing it to him. So instead of going like, here you go, sir, here's the Braille menu, I hand it to his guide dog. So yeah, I'm very glad that's my worst performing short. I'm so embarrassed to even talk about that. Is there an item you secretly hate but is popular so you have to keep making it? Macarons, they suck. An bhfuil gaeilge agat tá, Alice is anam dum. That's if I speak Irish, I do. What is it? This isn't a very nice question. What was your surgery about and how are you now? I had a breast tumour, what's called a fibroadenoma, and I still have it, but I'll get onto that. I had a breast tumour in my right breast. It was a giant one. It was 5 by 6 centimetres, I believe. It was gonna really cause problems, so I got it removed to make sure it wasn't gonna turn into cancer or anything later in my life. And once I got it removed, I was like, great. They took a chunk out of my breast. I feel amazing. Time to get on with my life. And then 2 months later it came back and I still have it to this day, but don't know if I'm gonna have to get surgery again. We'll see. What is some random item you really want to buy right now? A new oven. I'm gonna show you guys my oven and you can't laugh at it. It's missing a door. Okay. Let's not talk about that. What is your type? Preferably alive. That'd be nice. How tall are you? How tall is woman? I'm gonna say how tall am I? I'm 5'5", just about. I'm 5'4", 9" or something, but like I say 5'5". Ideal guy besides being an F1 driver? Non-existent. Do you have any tattoos? I would love to get tattoos. I think tattoos are beautiful, whether it's a sleeve or a little one. I love tattoos. Would I get one personally? It would be a massive commitment. It would have to be something personal to me. I think a lot of people say that, and I also want to donate blood, and I think you have to take a long time off donating blood if you have a tattoo. So maybe. It's always open. When is your book about stupid questions you've been asked as a baker coming out? once a publishing company has hope in me. I would love to do a book. Do people recognize you at work or in general? How do you feel about it? People recognize me everywhere I go. I've had some really unfortunate places I've been recognised, but I won't go into that. Probably the most embarrassing time I've been recognised was when I walked into my first day of college. I had my massive kind of knife kit and my rolling pin, and I walked in and my lecturer goes, "Do I know you from TikTok?" I died on the inside. Lovely guy though. Best Grand-Prix of all time. Grand-Prix is in Formula 1. I'm going to say Charles Leclerc winning Monaco this year. That was good. That made me feel good. Do you speak any other language apart from English? Ja, hallo, ich heiße Alice. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch, aber ich habe 4 Jahre lang Deutsch gelernt. That's German for everyone asking. Cookery or patisserie? Patisserie, cookery. I'm actually wearing my chef uniform right now. This isn't a baker's uniform. Bakers have short sleeves. For how long have you been doing content creation? 2.5 years. Oh, I feel really old. I've been doing YouTube for 9 months. 5 mil on YouTube in 6 months. Never done before. No, it's like 500k in 9 months, but thank you. Did you ever think of going to art college since you're so good at art? My parents already have one child that went to art school, my brother, so I think they wouldn't live if they had another child going to art school, but I did think of it for a little bit, but no, I don't want to. When in secondary school, what did you want to be? I wanted to be a baker. I went through a little bit of a phase of graphic design, and then I realized you actually have to be good at it to do it, so I went to culinary school, dropped out, and started bakery school. What's the worst / most impactful mistake you've made / seen someone else make? I'm not going to shame anyone else for the mistakes they make. I'm not going to say anyone else's mistakes. My worst mistake I've made is probably when I was working as a waitress. I served a lady who asked for a gluten-free sandwich, a gluten sandwich. Thankfully, she didn't eat the sandwich. She actually looked at the bread and she's like, "This looks way too good to be true." So it was okay, but it could have been really bad. Due to recent public admiration, would you consider painting your hair pink? I've considered it. I literally just had my hair done blonde again, so give it 6 months and I might. Hope it's not bakery related, but will you do more long form content in the future? You're watching it right now. I would love to do more long form content. The only issue is I don't have an actual kitchen space that is private to do it in, and it's not the most professional looking. I would like something more stainless steel and lovely looking. If I were to, I would love to build a cabin or a studio with a kitchen in, but that's for when I can afford it, when I become big time YouTuber, you know? Is that contact or your real eyes? These are my real eyes, by the way. Ever been confronted by someone you made fun of in a skit? No, because I quit that job. Baking is now illegal. What are you going to study next? Floristry. Does England or Ireland have better food? Neither. Italy. Are you friends with Jacksepticeye since you're both Irish? No, never met the lad. How are you finding the transition to YouTube? What's better / worse, easier / harder? YouTube is a lot nicer. You guys are a lot more nice than TikTok and Instagram, but nothing is necessarily worse. I really like this platform. Yeah, I really like this platform. I don't have any bad sides to it. The most traditional pastries and desserts of Ireland, please. I can't speak that language, so I'm going to completely ignore it, but thank you. The most traditional pastries in Ireland always have to have apple, and if they aren't apple, they're probably soda bread. What's your favourite thing about Formula 1? It's just exciting to watch. Yeah, that's it. The memes that come from it are really funny as well. If you could relive your life up until now, what would you do differently the second time around? Probably buy Bitcoin when I was like 2 years old. That would have helped a lot. Oh my god, we made it through without any mistakes that you guys have seen. Okay, that's it. Okay, what do? Shut this camera off. Okay, goodbye.